Hi, and welcome to Food Courting. This is Jennifer Iserloh, the Skinny Chef, on behalf of LiveStrong.com. Today, we're going to be making the ultimate guilty fast food pleasure. That's right, we're making pizza. And no one can resist an ooey gooey, melted, cheesy slice of pizza. But I'm going to show you how to make a really simple whole wheat pizza crust that you can make in just minutes in your food processor. So let's get started. Join me for a date to learn about everyday healthy cooking. We're taking those fast food or food court favorites and turning them into delicious, healthful meals that are friendly to your waistline and your time. This is Food Courting. So one of the reasons why I use a food processor is not only is it convenient, but you don't have to knead the dough. So I'm going to start with 3 cups of whole wheat flour. We'll add some dried yeast that you can get in the packet. You can usually find this in your dairy aisle. And then we'll add a ½ teaspoon of salt. We're just going to pulse this just to mix those ingredients together before we add the warm water. So now, while the motor's running, we're going to add in about a 1.5 cups of warm water. This is going to help the yeast to rise. Now you can see right here the food processor is doing the work for you. There's no need to knead this dough. So we'll let this process for about 30 seconds, and then we'll set this aside in an oiled bowl and let it rise for about an hour. Now I've already got one here that's ready to go that we can roll out. And look how beautiful that is. So we'll just take a little flour, and this is a great thing just to roll out on your countertop. And you know, if you don't want to sit and wait for the pizza to rise, you can always do this ahead of time. You can even cut this up at this point and freeze it. And the thing I love about this dough is it's so versatile. You can use it for pizza, you can make calzones with it, you can even make a healthy Hot Pocket. I like broccoli and cheese, but you can fill it with vegetables or whatever your healthy favorite is. And you know what, if you don't have a rolling pin, don't sweat it. You can actually pull this pizza dough into shape with your hands. All right, so this pizza's just about ready. So next, instead of using a sauce, I'm going to use canned tomatoes. Canned whole peeled tomatoes, I've drained them and put this in the bowl, are a lot lower in sodium compared to marinara sauce, but they still have that rich tomato flavor. And since I like to keep my kitchen as tidy as possible, instead of cutting these on a cutting board, I'm going to use a scissor just to rough chop them up because I like my tomatoes to be chunky. And we'll just spread those out on top of our pizza. Now I've already preheated my oven to 400 degrees because that's what makes a delicious crisp pizza dough. And believe it or not, this guy only takes 10 to 15 minutes to bake in your oven. Now at this point, if you like, you can put on some fresh basil, you can put oregano, whatever spices or herbs that you like, or maybe some turkey pepperoni. But I love fresh herbs because they add tons of flavor, hardly any calories, and they have things like vitamins, minerals, and even antibacterials that can help you when flu season comes along. All right, and next we're going to add some fresh grated mozzarella that I have here, and I use the part skim mozzarella instead of the full fat because it's a great way to cut back on fat further. And you can get this pre-grated, or if you want to save $3 or $4, you can buy it in the block and grate it yourself. So this gorgeous pizza is ready to go, and I've actually got one in the oven right now that's crisp and lovely. Look how beautiful this is. So let's see how this delicious, fresh, homemade meal stacks up nutritionally against the fast food version. This is also a great thing to serve when the weather's cold because it warms the house up and makes everything smell wonderful. So there we have it, healthy homemade pizza with a beautiful crisp crust. So on behalf of Livestrong.com, it's Jennifer Easerlo, the Skinny Chef, and I'll see you next time. These burgers are beautifully browned. So now we're going to slide them into the oven along with the fries to cook all the way through for about 10 minutes. No meal with a burger and fries would be complete without a chocolate shake. But this chocolate shake that I'm going to show you how to make isn't